Hi, everybody. I'm Deacon Dave.
Layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and Layperson Lisa show at night. We have our spotlights on, as you can see.
We have our lighting crew
We have
here.
our spotlights here.
Yep.
We are sitting on some steps on the far end of the hotel.
Because our hotel is partying.
Having a party, and Layperson Lisa was doing the Congo or something a few minutes ago.
I was just dancing. I wasn't in any Congo line.
Just rocking and
dancing
rolling.
by myself, which is what I like to do.
But we've had a very busy day from Padre Pio to St. Michael the Archangel to Stations of the Cross. But we started with Mass this morning.
Yes.
And so tell us about that, Lisa.
Well, Mass was in the former chapel of Padre Pio.
And the cross that he received the stigmata from?
Was in the upper area.
Right above where we were celebrating Mass.
Yes.
What else happened?
Anointing of the sick was within Mass.
Which is very nice.
Yes,
and beautiful.
and the Padre Pio healing prayer.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very powerful. And then we kind of went through where he lived.
Yes.
Right? And where he stayed in the hospital.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I took all my throat.
You need a little water there?
Yeah, and I didn't bring it.
It's okay. And where he stayed when he was sick, is that what that was?
His hospital room, he had a hernia operation without any anesthesia. Because he
wanted to offer that suffering to Jesus, which is... Lisa's all choked up tonight, everybody. Excited to be here, though. Maybe I should pause for a minute.
Yeah, I'm good now, I think. Yeah.
Okay, we're back. And so seeing everything from Padre Pio. And we watched this great, 10-minute video on his life. And
it was like, there's so much more. It was very basic.
Right. And then we had all of our things blessed by a glove. And what was the other thing?
The wrappings that were on his stigmata.
Right.
So he had the stigmata for 50 years.
Right. From 1918 to 1968. And so those were first-class relics that were touching us.
Yes.
And
so Monsignor had the gloves,
right?
The stuff in his two hands,
right?
They're wrapped in plastic, and then he blessed our heads, and then if we had an item that we wanted blessed, and then Deacon Dave got to bless Monsignor with the gloves and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Which was very nice that I got to do that. And are there mosquitoes on us?
There was a bug on you.
Okay, good. So we're definitely, it is at night here.
And the bugs like the lights.
San Giovanni Rotondo, it is definitely, it's after 10 o'clock at night that we are here. So then after we did all that, we had lunch, and then we traveled to
St. Michael's Grotto.
Yeah, do you want to tell the story about that, how the bishop kind of...
So there was a dead, so there was a prized cow, or oxen?
You listened to more than I did.
And it got stuck in a cave and it died or something.
Okay.
And St. Michael came and said, I want this cave consecrated to me.
To the bishop.
And I thought he told the guy first. And the guy went to the bishop, and the bishop was like, nah.
Right.
And then
a year later,
then the St. Michael appeared to the bishop again.
Yep.
And the bishop again said, nah. And then St. Michael said,
after saving them,
pause.
Right? We're back.
Then St. Michael said,
after saving that area, right, from a group that was attacking him.
Okay.
Right, that he was going to claim it for himself.
Okay.
And consecrate it to himself.
And he put a sign that said, I don't need you, I'm going to consecrate it to myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would really write that.
I don't know. I gave you 2 shots and you didn't do it.
Yeah. I gave you 2 chances, you didn't do it, so I'm going to do it myself. That doesn't sound like...
Oh, hey. It's there.
It doesn't sound like humility, though.
Well, the cave was very beautiful.
It was very beautiful.
They were having Mass down there when we were there. And then we also had adoration in a chapel.
Yes.
In the same church for an hour.
Yes.
And so we had litanies.
It was the litany adoration hour.
But it was also some spontaneous prayer by Lisa as well.
I didn't get the memo.
and so then we ended with benediction, and so that was really beautiful to spend that hour. I think it went by pretty fast.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and something about adoration, okay? You don't have to...
Oh, wait. This monstrance, the Luna was like as big as my head. The Eucharistic
I would say it was
host,
bigger than your head.
Yes. The Eucharistic
It would cover your entire
host
face.
was so humongous. It was so amazing. That was the best part.
It would definitely.
And the host had the Lamb of God on it.
It did. The best part was that it was still Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Of course it is.
But it was a giant Jesus.
It was a giant Jesus
of Eucharistic host, and so it was. We did benediction at the end, and it was really nice.
Yes,
I thought it was very good. We probably did some prayers during adoration that we don't normally do. And just something about adoration. I mean,
so how did you come up with that?
I was just inspired during the time to grab my missal.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to do, or was prompted to do, the Litany of Humility.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one.
And then we did the Litany to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And then Art did something from the Padre Pio book that he got.
Okay.
And then Debbie said, hey, why don't we do the Litany of Trust? I said I was going to do that, but it wasn't in the book.
Yeah.
But she looked it up on her phone. And so she did that.
Yeah.
Lisa did a spontaneous prayer. And so, it was a really kind of all happened, right?
Yeah.
And was really beautiful. I think the important thing to do, my big prayers today were for just guidance from God and His will for the retreat center. That's kind of been one of my main things, Lisa, this whole trip has been the retreat center. And have we told them about the monstrance?
No, we have not. That's a surprise.
Oh, that is a surprise. So it'll just be a surprise for y'all. You'll have to come to the Retreat Center for Adoration to find out what I'm talking about. And we also, the Bergens got some incense for us today.
Yes.
While we were there. Some really sweet smelling incense. So I'm excited to use that when we get back for adoration. But what I was going to say about adoration is just kind of like, listen, you don't have to have like a bunch of stuff to do. Sometimes I don't say anything. Sometimes I just sit there.
Yeah.
And it's just like two people that love each other sitting there and just being present to one another without a lot of words being necessary. So in fact, I would almost say that's better because you're more in a listening posture.
Yeah, I usually,
What are you saying?
Yeah, either like music or that silence.
Right. And it's just like, just being there. And like I was reading in the book that Lisa gave me, what is it called about the flame? Flame within us or something like that.
Something about ignite the flame or something.
It was
Kindle
just
the flame. I don't know.
Yeah, but it basically was just talking about the fact that whenever you don't think anything is going on, that's when something's going on.
Yes.
And to just show up for adoration and to listen and to not worry about judging what's going on or how much you're getting out of it. But just to do it.
Right.
So we came back, we had dinner, and then what happened, Lisa?
Then we went thinking we were going to be able to walk up this big hill where we can pray the Stations of the Cross, but it was gated. It was closed. So the gate was across the path, but yet we still prayed the Stations of the Cross on the steps.
It's probably God's providence knowing that the 15,000 steps that we've already walked today was maybe enough.
Oh.
And that we didn't need to do more, especially after the somewhat light dinner, I think, with the fish and everything.
Really?
Oh, I mean, the rice was definitely good.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
But the fish was pretty light, right?
Yeah, it was okay.
And we did have some limoncello.
Yes.
Did you drink yours?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Did it get up your nose?
It made my throat burn.
Really? Yes. Did you drink it all at one time?
Well, I took a sip first because I'd rather sip it, and then they said, "Oh no, you just have to shoot it." So I shoot it.
Just take it all at one time. And
and then it made my throat burn.
Strong lemon taste, and then clears your sinuses out, clears your throat out.
Well, it didn't work too good because my throat is itchy now.
I'm sorry. I don't think it was the limoncello. Okay? I think the reason why we have little bugs here is because we're next to the lights.
That's what I said like 10 minutes ago.
Well, you're a little bit more advanced than ahead of things than I am. So yeah, I think part of it too is like we were right where Padre Pio was, outside the plaza for the church, which is where the Stations of the Cross start. And then, but there was a lot of noise, right? Because there were cars driving by. Yeah. Sorry, I'm scratching my back. But I mean, when Jesus walked the Stations of the Cross, there was a lot going on.
Right. Well, that's what we said when we were in the Holy Land, right? Because all these people are like trying to get to work or whatever, and they're walking right by you, and like that's what people did when Jesus was there, and actually walking those footsteps or those steps. And it was kind of cool when we were in the Holy Land because some people would pause and like make the sign of the cross or like kiss the cross, and other people just would continue on their conversations and keep going and
walk on by.
Yeah, and so like that's just the same thing at the retreat center, right? When we are praying the Stations of the Cross outside and we hear traffic or we hear neighbors making noise, like that's the same thing.
That's just the way it is.
That's right.
And so I did a little reflection afterwards. I was inspired by the 12th station that said, that our crosses, the cross of Jesus should never be separated from, the cross should never be separated from the love of Jesus.
Yes.
And I then extruded that to our crosses. It should never be separated from the love of Jesus. And I think we have a lot of crosses that we may not be aware of because we're comfortable in them.
You feel like you have like hidden crosses?
I don't know if I do.
I feel like I do. I pretty much feel
no,
like
but,
I know.
But a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Gossip. Look, it's a cross. In other words, it may not even be a cross because you're so just like doing a sin, like gossip, for example, that you don't think there's anything wrong with it. That's just one example.
Yeah.
When actually gossiping about people is wrong.
Yes.
And when you start to have that awareness, then it becomes a cross because you're like, oh, I really want to respond or say something or talk about this situation. And as you're carrying this cross, you realize it's not the right thing to do. And so it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? But if you unite that difficulty of being with the love of Jesus who gives us what we need, then we are able to kind of, through his grace, to move past that and recognize that he's all we really need. So it starts with, okay, I'm stuck in something I don't even know is wrong. Then I become aware that it's wrong.
Yeah.
Then I have to pick up this cross as I travel, right, to a point where it is redeemed or resurrected.
Right.
And as I said in my homily this morning, there are things sometimes that, God, just like Padre Pio, all of his wounds after 50 years, they healed up right before he died. No scars, no nothing.
Yeah.
Really amazing stuff. And
except his shoulder was pink, which is where the cross would have rested.
Right. So think about this. I mean, he just died in 1968.
Yes.
So he's a modern day saint.
Yes.
And so this is the real deal. This is real stuff, video, pictures, everything. You can't deny.
And John Paul II was there as a young priest.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we saw Padre Pio's incorrupt body.
Yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say now, but just about
hidden crosses.
About hidden crosses, I don't remember. But I just think,
awareness.
Right. We have to, as we get to a place, there are some, originally, I didn't know this today, Padre Pio originally had the stigmata, then it went away.
Yes.
And then he asked to basically be a victim soul for Jesus, right?
Yeah.
And then he got it back, and he had it for 50 years.
I thought he asked to be a victim soul the first time.
Well, apparently it took 2 times to take.
Sure.
Yeah. But maybe he wasn't ready. I don't know.
Yeah.
But sometimes there are...
Or maybe that was preparation.
Yeah, and I remember what I was going to say. So, so sometimes there are sufferings, right? Crosses that God completely wants to heal and redeem. Then there are other crosses that we must continue to carry, maybe for the rest of our life. And they're designed to, draw us deeper into relationship with God. Not more frustration or anger, but actually into deeper relationship with God. And I think there's a third thing that I didn't necessarily say in my homily, I don't think. It's just this idea that, okay, let's use gossip again, right?
Okay.
I'm always going to have that urge, right, to maybe want to talk about something.
Yeah.
And so there's a little pain that goes along with that, but I don't really think it's suffering anymore. So while the temptation is there, the pain associated with oh man, I wish I could do this, is no longer there. So the suffering attached with it is not there. So I don't know that it's necessarily a cross anymore, because it's kind of been resurrected.
Maybe it's a resurrection. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So kind of what was your?
So maybe when you're in the tomb, you don't have the awareness, and then when you have the awareness, then you're carrying the cross, and then when it doesn't cause any more suffering, then it's resurrected.
Yeah, I think that the only thing is you are in a sense dead. You're right. Although you think, cross, tomb, resurrection, right? But in a sense...
Well, I'm just thinking rising up.
Yeah, because you're not living a life...
No, because you're not... you're dead already.
Exactly.
Because you're not living a Christ-centered life.
Right.
If you're kind of lukewarm.
But that's a tomb on the other side of the cross.
Sure, yeah.
Right? You haven't even picked up your cross yet.
Yeah.
So there's almost
Yeah.
There's the first that you have to... And ultimately what you're doing is dying to self.
Yes.
And doing the will of God. Yeah, we can kind of run these analogies in a couple different ways, but I think the important thing is that, some sufferings we may have for a lifetime, others may be fully redeemed, and we might be healed with no scars. But we should always give God glory, thanks, and praise and adoration for everything. Did we leave anything out, Lisa?
Well,
we had a veneration of the cross tonight
we
with
had
a fire in
veneration
front
with
of
a
it.
fire. We
which
just
weren't
caught
sure
the
about.
tail end of that.
Yeah.
And I did the reflection for evening
You
prayer.
did a beautiful job with your reflection for Monsignor, and I concur with his assessment. So that was very nice as well. That we need to have wisdom, right? And it's that wisdom that helps us in difficult times. Okay. See, I remembered. I think a part of you mentioned the saints.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is good. Anything else?
No.
I am Deacon Dave.
I'm layperson Lisa.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Whoa, that was a long one.